Guys, I want to see y'all. I want to see y'all drop in the chat box all the way up. If you men are ready, all the way up. Yo, guys, we are the way up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We turn it up, man. We turn it up. We turn it up. We turn it up. Ayo, listen. Let me start. Jeez. Yo, man, you know we like to turn up. You know we like to turn up. You know we like to get ready. Now we ready for the cool. We fired up. Guys, drop some ones in the chat box right now if you're feeling fired up today. Listen, it's a new week. It's literally Monday. Like, it's Monday. Like, I don't think some of us understand the opportunity that we actually have today in terms of the fact that, yo, it's a completely new week. Like, it's literally a completely new week. Let me turn up the lighting a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But it's a completely new week. And what does that really mean, right? Let me just make sure this is the right color. Let's see. Which color lighting do we want? This one's cool. Anyways, yeah. What does that mean, right? What does that actually mean for us, right? Let's be real. Like, sometimes it's like we're in this game, right? And we're grinding. Like, I know some of us were new in the business. Some of us who've been in the business for a while. Whatever it is, right? Sometimes, maybe last week, we didn't have the week that we actually wanted to have, right? In fact, maybe last week, we weren't operating at the level that we know that we should be operating at. In fact, maybe last week, we were maybe grinding a bit, but maybe we never necessarily got the results that we actually wanted to have in that week. Like, if you guys can actually relate to any of those particular things, maybe if you just feel like, you know what, I could have maybe done a bit more last week. I could have maybe done a bit more last week. Just drop a 2 in the chat box. So just so I can kind of see if, I don't know if anyone else kind of feels like that. I definitely feel like I could have gone harder myself. So I'm even going to put some 2s in the chat box myself, right? Because that's the reality of it. It's like, yo, imagine if last week we just went a little bit harder. And imagine if, like, the week before that, we just went a little bit harder. And then imagine if, like, the week before that, we just went a little bit harder, right? Like, sometimes all we have to do in order to really turn this up, in order to really turn this up, is we just have to go that little bit harder. In fact, they say, like, sometimes we wanna be extraordinary, right? Like, we wanna have extraordinary results. We wanna go chairman. We wanna have 7 figures, 8 figures in our trading account. And sometimes what happens is that we think that those extraordinary results, they're not achievable for us. Like, sometimes it's like, oh man, you know what? I see this person having, like, this extraordinary results, but I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily something that I can also achieve myself. Or I don't know if I can actually get that 6 figures in my trade. I don't know if I can actually get that 100 a week in my trading account. I don't know if I can actually, I don't know, do this specific sport. Like, whatever it is in your life. Like, it's like, a lot of the times we just have these feelings, right? But I'm here today on this call to really let you know that it's possible, right? Like, it's actually possible for every single person on this call, right? Every single thing that you're looking to get done, whether it's that, again, you wanted to become a beast in that sport, or you wanted to become a beast on the charts, or you wanted to become a beast catching, I don't know, 1 to 100 trades like Macan. Like, this guy is flipping next level, right? Like, whatever it is, like, any single person can genuinely get it done. Why? It's because someone that's already having those levels of success, right? They didn't start at the level of success. Like, sometimes what we see is we see the person that is a 6-figure trader, or we see the person that is a chairman, right? For example, we just had, we had Noel Trimble on the call the other day, Chairman 50, breaking down the source, right? We've got Jazz right there in the chat box, absolute beast trader. Sometimes we can look at him, see him as, oh, wow, he's a Platinum 2000. Wow, he's this, he's that, he's that. And we don't realize the fact that Jazz started somewhere. In fact, Jazz started at a point where he didn't know about trading. He didn't know about how, like, there was a specific day where Jazz knew nothing about that. Believe it or not, he knew nothing about trading, right? There was a specific day where Jazz knew nothing about building the business. And now look where he is today, right? Absolute beast in the industry. Look, 29th of April, 2018. That's the day where he knew nothing about this whole thing, right? So I really just want to encourage every single person to understand and listen, like, it's actually really possible. It's actually really possible for yourself, right? It's really possible for every single person, right? Because sometimes I see certain people having certain levels of success, right? And I don't know, I might be at a convention. I remember there was one specific convention that we went to, an international convention where we had a load of the chairmans on stage and a load of the beach traders, and we got to meet like some of the Go Live educators. And I was looking at some people and I was like, wow, this person is a chairman. That is flipping inspiring, because it shows that, wow, if someone, right, like, and it's not disrespectful to any single person, but it's just to say, wow, there are people from all different walks of life, some people who you wouldn't even necessarily think would be a chairman. Like, there's some people who, if you actually saw them before, like, for example, we look at Shabazz, for example. Shabazz, chairman 50, about to go chairman 100 in this game. A beast trader. I remember when I got started, I was always asking him questions about trading. Oh, how this, how that, how that. And it's crazy because when he started in the business, right, he was like, what, like he didn't have confidence. He didn't have posture. Like, he had to grow that. He had to grow that through the process, right? So again, the key thing that I want every single person to understand, I'm going to repeat this through this call, is that it's possible. In fact, real quick, can everyone just write down in the chat box for me real quick? Let's just write down, it's possible. In fact, not even just it's possible for me, right? Write down, it's possible for me. Because sometimes we think that it's possible for them. We think, oh, you know what? It's possible for Kamal. It's possible for Jazz. It's possible for Kush. It's possible for Melvin. It's possible for Lawrence. It's possible for Jonathan. But is it really possible for me? Like, is it actually possible for me to be able to do it? Yo, I see it's possible for Yassin. It's possible for Mariam, who just smashed Chairman 10, right? Shout outs to Mariam, right? It's possible for these people, but in the back of our mind, sometimes, because of the conditioning that we may have developed over time, right? Automatically, our automatic response when someone says it's possible, or when we say to ourselves it's possible, our automatic response sometimes is, no, it's not. And it may not even be intentional, right? But let's be real, a lot of the time, especially if we're new to the business, especially if we haven't been plugged in to the community and we haven't been surrounding ourselves with people that are always letting us know that it's possible, as soon as we say it's possible, this voice in our head says, no, it's not. Or sometimes it's kind of a bit smart. It doesn't necessarily just say, no, it's not, but it says, it just that little ounce of doubt where it's like, you know what, is it really possible though? Oh, but you know what? That person that hit chairman, like, they probably started when, like, there was no one. Oh, Matt Rose that hit chairman 750, he probably started the first person to start in IM or something like that. Or you know what? That person that has 7 figures in their trading account, they probably started with 6 figures already. Like, these little things start to come up in our head. Oh, you know what? Someone probably taught him something that look, the reality of it is, right? Like, sometimes you think, oh, this person might have had some extra education, or this person might have had some extra one-on-one trainings, or blah, 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 this, blase, blase, blah, all this kind of stuff. But the craziest thing about it is that every single person, right? There's some people that maybe have some extra stuff, but there's so many people that have had success, that are 6, 7-figure traders in this platform, right? That knew nothing about trading before. And the only resources they learned from was Go Live, was the academy, was the products. In fact, we literally have someone by the name of Tim Holloman. I don't know if you guys know, right? But someone called Tim Holloman, who came into this business and through utilizing the Harmonic scanner alone, has made 7 figures. Maybe even more now. This was like a year ago, right, that he made 7 figures. And now, I don't know, right? I don't speak to the guy, but I'm like, wow, 7 figures through the Harmonic scanner. You remember him, right? And it's crazy because even this strategy that a lot of people are speaking about with RSI and stochastics, like, a lot of it actually stems from a strategy that he was actually teaching, right? Because it's a strategy that he learned from the academy, and he kind of just put things together, and then he made 7 figures with it. So that's really to say that it's possible. Because this guy, I think he was an ex-military soldier or something like that, something along those kind of lines. And it's like, hold up, if he was able to come from that background, right? Why can't I, right? Why can't I do it, right? We see, for example, Drake Dennison, who just smashed Chairman 10. Like, his story is really very inspiring, because he came from a background where, whilst he was grinding, right, his mom actually burnt down the house. I don't know if you guys knew that. His mom actually burnt down by accident, right? Of course, she wasn't like, yo, I'm going to burn down the house because I don't like you. Like, as in, it was actually an accident. She burned down the house. They became homeless, right? So Drake Dennison, grinding in the business, he didn't have a home to live in, right? He physically didn't have a home to live in. And guess what? Now today, not only is he a chairman in the business, newly popped chairman, but he's a beast trader as well. And it's like, hold up. Look, some of us, we don't even understand the way that we're blessed right now, right? Like, just drop a free in the chat box if you live in a home, right? If you actually live in a home. Because if you live in a home right now, you're actually so blessed. And sometimes what happens is that we actually forget this. Like, we actually forget to recognize how blessed we really are. And sometimes what happens is that we take those blessings for granted. Like, we don't remember because we're not constantly surrounded by people that don't have houses, luckily enough, blessed enough for us. But it's like, we forget that there are some people who are praying every single day just to have a house, right? There are some people who, when it's raining outside and we're inside and we're like, oh, why is it raining? There's some people who is out there in the rain, right? There's some people who, when it's snowing outside and we're going for a walk, we're just coming back from Tesco and it's snowing, we're like, oh man, why is it snowing? Now I need to walk 5 minutes in the snow. There's someone else who's on the street that has to stay there for the whole night and stay in the snow with the snow settling on top of them. So it's possible because there's people like that also still come into this business and have absolutely phenomenal results. We look at Austin Godsey. Austin Godsey, for a certain period of time, he's a chairman 100 in this business, about to go chairman 250, right? About to go chairman 250. And he also had situations where he was homeless. So it's like, for every single person that drops a free that has a home right now, right? If these guys that were homeless can have success, what does that mean for you, right? If someone that went from homeless could go to 7 figures, what kind of figures do you think that you can create, with the resources that you actually have? It's crazy. Like, if you feel right now like you're actually blessed and you're really understanding your blessings, just drop a 4. Drop a 4 in the chat box real quick. You guys know I like to keep you guys' fingers busy on the keyboard, just to really kind of make sure that we're plugged in. One thing I'll say as well, guys, is that sometimes we're in this game, right? And we haven't necessarily had the success that we wanted to have yet, right? Might be in this game, it might be in sport, it might be in whatever, I don't know, right? But there's someone on this call who's feeling like that right now. There's someone on this call who right now, this second I'm speaking to, right? In fact, it's crazy because I was sitting earlier and I was just like, I don't know, I wasn't really thinking of too much. Like, I was grinding and stuff, but in between I was like, hold up, like, what should I speak about in tonight's call? And then all of a sudden, 2 words came to my head. It just said, it's possible. So I don't know, there's someone on this call, like, I don't know why it came to my head, but it came to my head because I know for a fact that there's at least one person that just needs to really understand that it's possible. Like, that just really, really, really needs to understand. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep repeating it. Keep repeating it. Keep repeating it. I'm just reading a message that someone sent privately. Okay, I don't know, sometimes. Okay, cool. That's good. So someone actually messaged privately. I'm not going to necessarily say the name, but they said, like, sometimes, they said, like, they know it's bad that they're thinking this way, but how can they shift it? They said sometimes they feel like when they hear someone that has been homeless and all this kind of stuff, it's like they feel like the only reason that they were able to have the success is because they had that pressure, right? And that's definitely something that it's like, I totally understand kind of why you're thinking of that as well, because like, oh man, they only had success because they have that pressure. I don't necessarily have that pressure right now in my life. I'm not homeless, so how can I kind of think differently so that I really realize that, hold up, that's not the reality. The one way to think differently is to realize that there's other people also in the business who weren't homeless when they started, right? Like, there's so many people who are having success that weren't homeless. So it shows that sometimes, right? Sometimes it's like that external force, like that kind of switching moment where it's like, man, like everything was against us or everything was against them, and then they just flip because they realize, hold up, now I need to do something different. Sometimes that is a key turning point. But the crazy thing about it is that sometimes we wait for that moment, right? We wait for that moment for something to happen. But what we can actually do is we can look at our current situation and we can decide to have that moment right now, right? Let's say, for example, look, we can really create that internal pressure for ourselves, because we can look around and we can say, hold up, you know what? Wow, I'm seeing that this specific family member that I really love is still there working and really isn't passionate about what it is that they're doing. Like, I need to, for example, switch things up. Or you may look around and you may be like, okay, cool, you know what? I don't really like the current situations that I'm actually operating in right now. So you can kind of look at that internally and kind of say, you know what? I see why it is that I need to try and change urgently right now. Or maybe you can think, hold up, you know what? If I don't change, like, maybe it's like right now, maybe you're a bit comfortable, whatever. But maybe it's like, hold up, in the future, a year down the line, 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, if I don't actually execute, if I don't actually achieve certain things, then what am I going to be thinking? I'm going to be thinking regret. I'm going to be feeling that regret. So maybe the thing that can motivate you is that fear of the pain of regret, right? But there's so many different things. But the simplest thing that I would say to that question is that understand that there are other people who were not homeless when they got started. In fact, there's so many, I don't know, like most people weren't homeless when they got started, right? Like, cool, like a lot of people were really struggling financially, but there's some who also weren't. There was some who, for example, Luke Longmire was someone who was actually already making like 6 figures per year before he even kind of got into like business and that kind of stuff. He was making it in a type of way that he didn't necessarily want to continue making it. I'm not necessarily going to speak too much about that, right? But he managed to like switch it all up, you know what I'm saying? Now he's like an absolutely phenomenal trader. He's one of our Go Live educators. For those of you guys who don't know, he's one of the minds behind Go Cup, right? So hopefully that kind of answers that question in terms of understanding that kind of perspective. And by the way, again, guys, just as a check-in, if things are making sense so far, man, and I'm actually, I don't know, opening some perspective and shifting some paradigms, just drop a 6 in the chat box real quick right now so that I can know. We've got 60 people in this call right now. Shouts to everyone. Shouts to everyone on the call, man. Shouts to everyone on the call. But what I was about to say before I start speaking about that topic anyway was that sometimes we feel like, man, I'm not winning yet, right? Sometimes we feel like, oh man, I don't know if I'm a winner, right? I don't know if I'm a winner because I haven't won yet. Like, why haven't I won yet, right? But the craziest thing about it is that this one thing I really want every single person to understand. There's only 2 types of people that are on this call, right? There are only 2 types of people that are on this call. Number 1 is winners, and number 2 are people that haven't figured out how to win yet. That's it, right? So just because you haven't won yet doesn't mean you're not a winner, right? It just means that you haven't figured out how to win yet, right? That's simply it. So sometimes, as soon as we understand that and have that perspective, we realize that, hold up, I am a winner. And in fact, imagine if, for example, you start to tell yourself right now, I am a winner. I am a winner. I am a winner. We speak about these positive affirmations. And for those of you guys who don't really understand this kind of concept, what I would really recommend, if you really kind of feel like you're struggling to really believe that in yourself that you are a winner, start telling yourself that you're a winner. Start telling yourself again that it's possible, right? Because you may not have won yet. That doesn't mean you're not going to win. In fact, the only way you can lose is if you quit, right? The only way you can lose is really if you quit. Right? That's a whole topic for a whole different day. I'm not going to get too much into detail about that one today, but that's what I'd really say, right? And sometimes it's like, look, sometimes we're grinding, right? Sometimes it's like, man, like I've been grinding, I've been doing the work. Like, man, look at how many calls I did today and no one got started. Look at how many calls I did yesterday and no one got started. Look at how many trades I entered and all of them hit stop loss. Can anyone relate to that? Wait, let me just copy and paste this in the chat because some of this will probably be a question. I'm gonna read that after. But can anyone relate, right? Has anyone ever had a day, right, or an hour or whatever period where it's like you enter multiple trades, right, and then you come back and all of them hit stop loss, and you're like, is the market actually just trying to be disrespectful intentionally or what? Like what's going on? Like, if that's happened to you, just drop a 7 in the chat. Okay, if I'm not here, just drop a 7 in the chat. Okay, cool. It's happened. I'm not the only. That's definitely happened to me before, right? Like, it's happened to me before where I'm like, yo, listen, I'll enter some trade. I'm like, yo, listen, yeah, man. Oh, it's gonna be lit. But guess what? That's obviously the importance of using risk management. But that's again a whole convo for a whole nother day, right? But sometimes we're doing that and we're grinding and we're like, man, I just entered all these trades, but I was plugging into Go Live last week. How comes? Because I plugged into Go Live all day yesterday. And how comes the trades I entered didn't hit TP? Or how comes this? Or how comes that? Listen, one thing to understand, right? Sometimes you wonder, oh, how comes I've been doing all these calls today and nothing has happened here? Or I've been doing all these calls yesterday. I've been doing these calls this week. One thing we really have to understand is this, right? A lot of the times in this game, and if you can really, really understand this, it's peak, right? Because we get paid, right, based on what we did 90 days ago. That's it. We get paid in this game based on what we did 90 days ago. And what I mean by that, it isn't, you can't necessarily hit a certain position in the month or whatever, but it's simply just to help you understand. But if you're grinding right now, if you're going through the motions today, right, sometimes it's like, man, sometimes it's like, we have that turning point, right, where we're like, you know what, I'm sick and tired of being at this specific position that I'm at, or I'm sick and tired of not understanding the trading tool that everyone's saying. So then what do? We bang out for a day and we just plug into the live sessions all day, right? Or we bang out for a day and we're just inviting, we just reach out to like 100 people or 500 people, whatever it is, right? And then the next day, we're like, oh man, you know what? How comes no one signed up yesterday? Or how comes right now today, I'm not seeing opportunities in the market? Or how comes this specific, the first trade that I entered hit stop loss? You get paid today based on what you did 9 days ago. So sometimes we're looking at our calendar, right? We're looking at our calendar and we're here like, oh man, look, I did this meeting today, I did that meeting today, I did this meeting today, that meeting today, this meeting. How comes no one got started? If you felt like that before, like, let's be real, if you felt like that before, drop it 8 in the chat box. Drop it 8. If you felt like that, where it's like, man, look what I've done, yo, like, I've put these amount of people into the call. Why didn't they get started? And it's like, you're just so, like, deep down, you're so angry, but then maybe like, I don't know, your coach is there, so you're kind of trying to hold it down. You're like, and then you know the ones you just put the book down. It's like, man, like, I don't even want to look at this right now. You know what? Furthermore, I don't even want to build a bit. I don't even want to go chairman. I only just want to trade. Like, all of a sudden, all these thoughts start to come to your head, right? But the reality of it is, right, that when you look at the calendar and you flip it back a little bit, you flip it back 90 days ago, what does the calendar look like? Because if 90 days ago it didn't look how it's looking today, you're not going to get those results based on what you're doing today. You're going to get those results that you're doing today 90 days from now. Sometimes we think that the work that we're putting in isn't producing, but it is producing. But sometimes there's a delayed response, right? Sometimes there's a delayed response. It's just like when you, I don't know, when you plant an apple, right? The apple seeds or whatever. You've planted the apple, you don't see the tree the next day, right? You don't see the tree the next week. You don't see it. But does that mean that it's not growing? No. Like, it's still growing, it's still there, right? But you just don't see it yet. So in this specific business, right? For example, let's speak about building for a sec, right? For example, as you're building a business, right? Or even as you're going through the trades, right? Those specific trades might have hit stop loss. Those specific people might have said no, right? But spiritually, the people that you're looking for in your business that are going to take this thing seriously and that are going to run with you, right? They're on their way. That's it. Like, for example, right? When we call it Uber or whatever, right? Let's say, for example, we call it Uber, we go on Uber, whatever, right? We call up an Uber. When the Uber isn't there in 2 minutes, are we like, oh, man, the Uber's not coming? No, because we already ordered it. We know that it's coming. Let's say a taxi, for example, because I know Uber, you can track it and you can actually see the car coming. Let's say, for example, a taxi. A taxi, we order a taxi, right? We don't know exactly what time it's coming, but we know it's coming because we've ordered it. Like, we've put in the work, we've ordered it, right? It hasn't come in 2 minutes. We're not like, oh, where's the taxi? No, it's like, okay, cool, it hasn't come yet. Okay, cool. Like, I'm going to do something else type thing, right? So why is it that sometimes when we put in the work and it hasn't come in 2 days or 2 weeks or 2 months, now all of a sudden we're like, oh, the results haven't come yet? No, the results are coming. They're on the way, just like how the taxi is on the way. You just don't see it yet, right? They're on the way, they're coming. Like, if you're really understanding what I'm saying, by the way, guys, please just drop a 9. Drop a 9 in the chat box. Real quick. Lovely. It makes sense, right? It really makes sense, because if everyone just really understands this perspective, right? Shouts, coach. If everyone's really understands this perspective, then what's going to happen is that you're going to be able to get what you want, because it's possible, right? It really is possible. Now, guys, please, in the chat box again, it's possible for me. it's possible for me because I really want every single person to understand this. I really let every single person know themselves, right? In fact, you know what? Let me drop it myself as well, because we always need to make sure that we're like leading by example and all this kind of stuff. So let me go ahead and drop it. It's possible for me, because it is, man. It's possible for you, like whatever it is, guys. Whatever it is. Do you know what's crazy? Is that there's been certain situations, right, that you didn't think something was possible. Say no more, man. Say no more. Say no more, say no more, say no more. Love you, bro. But yeah, listen, that there's been situations where you didn't think something was necessarily possible. And then you got it done. So if that's the case, then what makes you feel that you can't do the same thing here? When we had what? 7 like people that hit like Platinum 150 today in TEC alone, right? They had so many people, so many training testimonials. I know someone hit like 3 figures, like all this kind of stuff, 3 figures, 4 figures back. You're seeing all this kind of stuff all the time. So why not you? Why not you? Like for real, why not you? Right? Real quick. Let me just go ahead and answer, because I remember someone asked a question earlier that I copy and pasted. Let me just, could you talk? Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like that's definitely a good point as well. It's like sometimes what we see is in this journey, right? In this journey, we see other people having certain levels of success, and we're like, oh man, this person's having this level of success. How comes I'm not having that certain level of success yet? And some of you will have heard me speak about this before, but some people still haven't actually clocked onto it yet. Right? Some people still not actually understand it yet. Because sometimes when we see people having these levels of success, we have some feelings of resentment. It's like, oh man, like, how comes I'm not that level yet, right? How comes I haven't been able to do that yet? How comes I haven't been able to do this yet? Blah, 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 right? But the crazy thing about it is that that's going to hold you back, right? In fact, what we should do instead, like, to be honest, I know everyone says don't compare yourself to people. My perspective on it is actually a little bit different. I believe, can compare yourself, right? But don't compare yourself in a way where you're all of a sudden putting yourself down. Because the reality of it is that no one's better than, like, no one's more special than you, and you're not more special than anyone. That's the way that I see it. Because every single person is special, right? Every single person is equally special as well, right? But some people, they know how to use their specialness, if that's a word, a bit better than others, right? So if, for example, you haven't necessarily had the same success that somebody else is having, right? It doesn't mean that you're not, like, capable. It just means that, again, you haven't learned how to win yet. So what do you want to do? Like, the reason why I actually like the concept of comparing yourself to other people is because I will look at someone else and I'll see, whoa, hold up. This person just did this. What can I learn from that? Like, yo, first and foremost, I'm going to celebrate. Like, I'm going to celebrate with genuine intentions and be like, yo, man, that's crazy. This person just smashed it. Da, da, da. And then later on, I'm going to think, okay, cool, sick. So now that person smashed it. And by the way, this is the key thing. Like, in that moment, while I'm celebrating them, I'm not thinking, oh, like, yeah, man, I'm celebrating them, but I'm thinking, yo, like, I need to do this, I need to do that. No, like, I'm just celebrating them at first, because you need to celebrate. If what you celebrate accelerates in your life, right? But if you're just celebrating and you're acting like you're celebrating, but really and truly in your head, you're thinking, yeah, really and truly in your head, you're thinking, oh no, you know what? Like, I need to do this, I need to do that. It's cool and stuff, but if you're not genuinely celebrating, it's not really the same kind of energy, right? But anyways, after that, what am I thinking? I'm thinking, sick. So what is this person doing that I'm not? I might even ask them. Let's say, for example, I can't even figure out myself. I might ask them, yo, listen, like, yo, you're smashing it. Like, but one question I have for you is, like, what is it? What do you feel helps you go to the level that you're at from the level that I'm at right now? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I would literally ask that question rather than being like, oh man, this person's having da. Forget all of that, man. Everyone on this call is 18 plus, right? Okay, there we go. Like, but most people on this call are 18 plus, right? So, like, just like, be an adult. Like, it's not that deep. If someone else is having success, be happy for them. It's really that simple. Because if someone else is having success, then what we should be thinking is, wow, it's possible. Because they're just showing that it's possible. In fact, I remember when David Imanite, when Jason Brown and Matt Rosa hit Chairman 500, right? Someone asked David Imanite, I think it was on a live video, someone asked, like, as in, like, are you not annoyed that they hit 2,500 before you. And he said, what? No, like, I'm flipping excited because they've shown me that it's possible. They've shown me that it's possible. So when you see someone that you know having that level of success, you should be happy, especially if they have that level of success before you, because now it's like, hold up. Like, that really just showed me that, like, yeah, you believed it was possible already before, but when you see them, it's like, hold up, that really showed me that it's possible. Shout out to Ash Winner. All right, Ash Winner, newly promoted P1000. Success leaves clues. He said other people's success motivates him. So if we compare ourselves in that kind of way, that's a much better way to compare. If you're struggling to do that, then cool, don't compare. But honestly, for me, like comparison actually leads to growth, because it's like, wow, like I'm comparing and I'm thinking, what I need to do differently, all that kind of stuff. So that's one thing that I would say on that topic. I lost my phone. Yeah, that's one thing that I would say on that topic, right? But guys, if I'm making sense so far, please just drop. I don't remember what number we're on. I think we're gonna start one again. No, drop a 10. Drop a 10 in the chat box real quick. Please, 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 please. So one more thing I'll say probably before kind of wrapping up this call, right, is that sometimes the reason why we don't believe it's possible, and this is really gonna hit. I feel like this is really gonna hit someone on this call. Like someone on this call is really gonna come off this call today and say, wow, like that specific thing that really related to me and that really helped me go to the next level. When they're gonna come off this call and they're gonna go to the next level, right? Because sometimes, right? Well, oh, right, cool. I'm gonna read that question after, right? So pretty much what I was about to say is that sometimes it's like we're so focused on the past, and that's why we don't think that it's possible. Because we're so focused on what we've done up until this point, right? We're so focused on what we've done to this point, and we're like, hold up, I haven't done what I needed to do up until this point yet. Or, man, like I haven't got that result yet. Or, man, everyone that I've spoken to so far, this specific result has happened. But the crazy thing is this, right? How about if we operate out of imagination rather than memory? Operate out of your imagination rather than operating out of your memory. Because memory, right? Memory is something of the past. And the craziest thing about it, the craziest thing, right? This blew my mind. I'm not even going to go into crazy detail about, come on, Jonathan. Shout out to Jonathan, newly promoted Platinum 1000 as well. That's bro right there. But wheel it up. Literally, right? What did I say? I said, operate out of imagination. Don't just operate out of memory, right? Because memory, the crazy thing about it is that memory sometimes is actually false. Like sometimes what we see as a memory, like we think it's real, but it's crazy. Like how many of us sometimes, like I don't know, I can't necessarily figure out an exact example, but you know when you're saying something, you're like, yo, this happened, yo, do you remember when XYZ happened? And then you get corrected and they're like, no, like it didn't happen like that. Like it was actually XYZ that, it was actually ZY, I don't know, ZYX that happened. Like if that's ever happened to you, drop a 2 in the chat. I don't know if I'm the only one. Guys, just drop a 2 in the chat. But it's like, if that's the case, our memory sometimes is false. Memory is simply an imagination that we're not willing to change. Shades. Oh, mad. Memory is simply an imagination that we're not willing to, I don't even, that just came to my head right now. I can't even lie. I'm like, damn, I need to write that one down. Memory is an imagination. Someone write it down for me and send it to me after, please. Memory is an imagination. Obviously, some memories are beneficial in it, but sometimes, when I say the memory, I'm really specifically speaking in this case about the memory of us thinking about how we did that specific act and we didn't get that specific result that we wanted, right? But it's simply an imagination, because what is an imagination? An imagination is still a thought in the head that isn't present, right? The only difference is that it's in the future or not in the past. That's what a memory is. Memory is a thought in the head that isn't present. The only difference is that it's in the past and not in the future. And the other difference is that you can't change it. Your imagination, you can change it. You can be like, you know what? Actually, you know what? I think I want to. My guy Cabal just said it to me. My guy, shouts Cabal. But literally, like, oh, I think I want to. I think, you know what? My imagination before was that I want to make 2K per month. But now I think I actually want to make 10K per month. In fact, actually making 10K per month by the end of the year. I'm actually making 10K per month by the, because imagination and memory are the same thing, they're just the reverse time frames. That's it. That's mad. I just even did that right now myself, right? I'm even taking notes to my uncle, right? But like, that is crazy. Like, if that actually, I don't know, if that actually like really shifted someone's perspective, just drop a 3 in the chat because we nearly finished on this call. We nearly finished on this call. Jeez, we got the freeze coming through. Yo, imagination. I don't remember anymore. I was gonna try to say it again, but I don't remember anymore. I'm gonna check the notes. Kamal said it to me. But anyways, like that's one of the key things, right? To really, that's what it was. Yeah, memory is an imagination that we're not willing to change. Damn, man. That part, yo, make sure you quote me. No, I'm joking. But no, literally, like that right there is honestly, I feel like that's like mostly what I need to say, man. Like I hope that really hits someone, and I hope people really understand that it's possible for you guys, right? Let's shift that memory and focus on imagination and operate from that basis, right? And say, you know what, this is the imagination that I'm going to create. And because imagination is basically the same as memory, but it's the reverse, it means that it's definitely something I can create, right? I'm seeing other people have the success. Every time I see someone else have success, I'm going to get excited for them because they're having success. And I'm also going to get excited for myself because I'm about to have success because they're showing me that it's possible, right? And in fact, when we speak about it's possible. In fact, when we speak about the concept of there being 2 types of people, there's the winner and then there's a person that hasn't learned how to win yet, right? How can we learn to win, right? One of the key ways we can learn to win is by plugging into people that are winning. We have an abundance of people. Oh, hold up. Before I even say that, I just realized there was a question I was asked in the chat box that I forgot to answer, that I forgot to read. What if you feel the negative energy and resentment from other people? That's a good question. Negative energy and resentment from other people, I just turn the other direction more time, right? But sometimes it's like, look, to be honest, it's like, I feel like if you can create, right, your own little bubble, right, your own little imaginary bubble around you, and you just say, you know what, no negative energy can come into this bubble. And you don't allow any negative energy to come into that bubble. So if someone attempts to hit you with negative energy, guess what? You've pictured in your head that bubble rejecting it off, right? So when they say it, you're not even hearing it anymore because it's like the bubble has rejected it, right? So you can imagine that visually. I don't know if that's going to help you, but if it does, it does, right? But if not, right, it's simply this, right? When someone, look, one thing that I understand is that all energy can't be created, only converted, right? Only transferred. So if someone's bringing negative energy, that's a blessing because you can't just create energy out of nothing, but you can convert negative energy to positive energy. So that means that someone attempting to give you negative energy, they're giving you a blessing. So guess what I would say to them? Thank you very much, right? I appreciate it. Because guess what I can do now, right? I can flip that negative energy and I can get lit. I'm like, yo, thank you, man. Yo, I appreciate it. Yo, sometimes people say the most random stuff to me, and I just like, yo, man, like, I appreciate that, man. Like, for real. Like, thank you, man. Like, you actually made my day. You actually made my day. Like, say that to someone. Like, someone that sends you negative energy, I dare you to just say that to them. Say, thank you, man. Like, you actually made my day. And watch how you feel instantly after you say it. I'm telling you right now, you feel like Superman, right? Because all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden, you're like you've literally in that exact moment, you've converted that energy. Yeah, the bubble concept coming out. You converted that energy instantly. Because just by you saying you made my day, now I just interpret what people say as positive. I just assume the best intention. So if, for example, someone spreads negativity or they say some kind of negative thing, I'm like, wow, man. Like, either I'm taking it as a positive thing, or if it's like so direct that it's obvious that it's not positive, I just feel sorry for them. And even that in itself, it's like, it's a positive energy because it's basically forgiveness. I instantly forgive them. I'm like, man, like, okay, cool, shame. Like, I feel sorry for that person. I say this all the time because this is exactly what I do. Just feel sorry for them. I'm like, man, damn, man, they're spreading negative energy. They must be going through a lot. In fact, furthermore, let me ask them how I can help them. Someone hit me up on Instagram talking some rubbish. I don't even remember what they were saying, to be honest. I even posted my story because it's not even something that comes commonly because I have that bubble where it's like, yo, I feel like where if people try to hit negative, I don't even hear it. I just do what I'm doing in it. But this specific person But they actually hit me up, whatever, talking about, blah, blah, blah. I don't even remember what they were saying. There's something about, because I was celebrating Cash's promo. I don't even remember, right? But anyways, I was like, oh, man. Oh, what did they say? Oh, they said, why are you so, because I was making noise. I was going crazy, right? They were like, oh, man, like, why are you so crazy or something like that? I was like, man, yo, I actually don't know. I'm sorry, I don't actually have the answer to your question, but I appreciate you anyways. Like, let me know if I can help you with anything. Boom, that's what I said to them, right? That's what I said to them. And then guess what? That was positive energy for myself. So I converted that negative energy into positive energy. So now I was like, right, okay, cool. Maybe they need some kind of help in their life for them to hop on my page and took that to me. Let me go ahead and spread them some positivity, because now that I'm spreading love, yo, like I've actually benefited from that negative energy. Because if you put that positive energy back as negative energy, what have you done? You put out positive energy. What does that do? That makes you positive. Hopefully that kind of makes sense to someone. Like, if it does, again, check it. Drop a 444 in the chat box. If you guys relate to this concept and you feel like it's lit, what you celebrate accelerates 100%, man. 100%, right? So pretty much, right? Going back to what I was saying earlier, I hope that really answered that question nicely, right? Going back to what I was saying earlier, yeah, how do we become winners, right? What we do is we learn from winners. It's a blessing, because we're actually in a community right now, right? With this whole squad, right? The whole of TEC, right? The whole of our team, the whole of the Elite Circle, the whole of Traders Empire, right? The whole of I Am Academy even, right? Like, we're literally in an environment right now where we have so many people to learn from, so many winners, right? You've got people like Jazz Lau, we've got people like Stephen Tete, we've got people like Jonathan Tete, we've got people like Reem Salim, we've got people like Simran, right? Newly promoted P1, we've got people like Ashwin, we've got people like, so many people to learn. We've got people like Kieran Gill, right? We've got so many people, and it's like, hold up, we can learn from all these people. We've got people like Makan, we've got people like Kyle, we've got so many people, right? And we've got people like Daniel, right? P5000. But imagine if, for example, like, I know we listed, for example, some P1000, like some P2000, like some P5000. Shout out to Obi Daniel. But like, I guess like one key way, because I know everyone wants to learn, like, how can I really, really win? Like what do I need? Look, if you guys, just as a real quick question, if you guys are willing to do what it takes to actually put yourself into the proximity of winners so that you can learn to win, because I'm going to tell you how. If you guys are willing to do it, just drop a 5 in the chat box. Drop a 5 in the chat box. Okay, cool. So everyone's dropping a 5. Everyone's dropping a 5. Everyone's dropping a 5. Everyone's dropping a 5. Right? So if that's the case, right, it's crazy, because I know as I said, I spoke about these, but it's like, imagine if, like, I don't know, if we had like a chairman, imagine if we had like a chairman where it's like like a chairman obviously is someone who's built a massive, like, it's 500 plus student database and has helped multiple people hit multiple figures in trading. Imagine if, like, we could, I don't know, just plug into like a training with them. In fact, we could plug in and learn directly from them. That would make us get closer to being a winner, right? Like, that would be pretty lit. But the craziest thing about it is that, imagine if there was 2. We actually have something going down on Wednesday, right? For every single person who doesn't know about this yet, and if you do know about it and you haven't booked out your schedule, you know what to do, because you said that you're willing to do what it takes, right? On Wednesday at 3 p.m. UK time, right? 3 p.m. UK time, 10 a.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Turkey time. I know there's all these different countries on the call, right? But at this specific time, what we have is we literally have something that is going to show every single person in this call how it is that you can move towards becoming a winner, right? How it is that you can discover some of the things that maybe you haven't learned yet, right? Because we're going to have none other than Miss Mariam Amaria herself, right? For those of you guys who don't know, right, Miss Mariam Amaria, she's an absolute legend when it comes down to this whole thing, right? Someone who I have massive, massive, massive love for, but someone who, most importantly, right, is having the results that you want to be. Like, this is someone that I know every single person understands that she is a winner, right? She's come through the journey, grinding, and she's been able to go ahead and not only smash it in trading, not only, I said smash it, that was a bit of a disrespectful word, obliterate. She's obliterating it in trading, right? But also flying through Chairman, about to pop Chairman 25 real soon, right? She's actually going to be holding a training, right, on Wednesday, 3 p.m. UK time. I'm here to let every single one of you guys know. We're going to drop it in the group after, right? But also on top of that, imagine if she wasn't even the only one. It's like learning from one winner is lit, right? Learning from 2 winners at the same time. We're going to have Yasser Sapan on the call as well. Yeah, look, the person The person who taught, the person who I was just speaking about will also be on the call. The person who introduced Marion to the business and said, listen, this is what you need to do in order to get it done. And then she went ahead and got it done. He's also going to be on the call, dropping the source. So Wednesday, 3 p.m. You guys, 3 p.m. UK time, you guys are going to see the details in the group. If you guys haven't seen it, it's also in the Big Trades Empire chat. They're already. But once it drops in the group, I want to see every single person dropping excitement, because what did I speak about earlier? We have a community of winners. One of the biggest ways to become a winner is to surround yourself with winners, to be active in the group chat, to literally be plugged in. It's one thing being in the group chat, but it's another thing being in the group chat. I don't know if some of you guys probably didn't even catch that, but I'm basically saying, I'm going to just say it again, to be honest. Whoever wants to catch it can catch it. Some of you guys that are going to catch it, you guys are going to be programmed, right? It's one thing being in a group chat, and it's another thing being in a group chat. Being in, not even just a group chat, it's bigger than a group chat. It's bigger than a team. Understand that every single person a part of this call is a part of a family, right? We're all one family, so what we want to do is we want to come together in this group and just really kind of interact. So with that being said, that's the end of this call, right? Let's go back to the group chats right now, and let's really let every single person, in fact, no, let's let ourselves know. I don't even want to let anyone know anything. I just want every single person that really genuinely understands that it's possible, right, to go back to the group chats right now and just write down, it's possible for me. It's possible for me, right? With that being said, my name's Shay. I'm gonna love y'all and leave y'all. Let's get it. Love.